people, it's your girl Adeola. So I've been saying this for weeks now, but I don't think that Nigerian officials are getting the memo. People are literally dying. Someone contacted me a few weeks ago from Ogun State about an incident that happened where the husband and wife worked for the government and neither of them were paid for 14 months. That's more than a year. Do you know that the husband tried to commit suicide? I was moved to tears. The man was fed up of borrowing money to provide for his family. He was fed up. I'm glad that they found him before it was too late, but for some people it was too late. People like Alhaji Sali Undarusa of Kogi State. The man worked at the Ministry of Education in Lokoja for years and they didn't pay them for like 6 months. So he participated in a protest and then he fell and injured himself during the protest. Since then he had no money for his medical treatment and he had no money to buy food. And guess what? He starved to death. And I'm sure that there are several others that I don't even know about. Why are Nigerian governors not paying salaries? I don't understand. Obviously these people have no conscience. My dear, where are the Nigerian kidnappers when you need them? Sorry my people, I beg, no vex. But seriously, these are the kind of people that kidnappers should target and focus on. If they just kidnap one governor, the rest of them, they will straighten up. I'm not advocating for kidnapping, but seriously, it's not funny what is happening right now. Buhari has also been too gentle about this issue. Shebi he said that they've recovered $9 billion. At least take $1 billion and set up food pantries, set up soup kitchens all across the country because people are starving. You keep fighting corruption, you keep arresting people, which is great, but your child is telling you that he's hungry and you are telling him, don't worry, I'm saving for your future. If people die while we are fighting corruption, what use is the corruption fight to dead people? Does this make sense? People are hungry and Buhari is silent. Yes, we are recovering money, great. Let's use this money to feed people. People are hungry, pay their salaries. In fact, the man is silent about too many things. One pastor's wife was recently hacked to death in Abuja. They cut the woman's head while she was preaching in the morning. Neighbors were saying that policemen did not do anything until all the Muslim men that had been threatening this woman moved out of the neighborhood. Although I'm very happy that they were later arrested and jailed, but Buhari still did not say anything. Not only that, a Catholic church was attacked by more than 200 Muslim men in Niger State near Abuja. They destroyed the church for having a service on Friday. They said that Fridays are for Muslims. Christians are supposed to worship only on Sundays. I was like, whoa, like what? Still, Buhari did not say anything. This same month of July, a pastor was cut to pieces in Nasarawa State and the president still did not say anything. Now, if a Muslim was beheaded by Christians, or if Christians should attack a mosque and destroy their properties for having a service on a Sunday, yes, there will be a religious war in Nigeria. No, so I'm not only disappointed in Buhari, by the way. Where is the minister in charge of the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory? And why can't the Christian Association of Nigeria sue on behalf of these families and take it to the Supreme Court? Sue on behalf of the church that the properties were destroyed. That will put an end to the menace going on. This is not about religion. This is about seeing our fellow citizens as human beings like ourselves and looking beyond religion or tribe and standing for justice, standing for what is right. And I want to thank all the Muslims that condemned this act on Facebook and on several newspaper websites. God bless you. Obviously, not all Muslims support this, but seriously, evil prevails when good men don't do anything. So not saying anything still means something. Buhari, so you understand? Call these people to order. Ensure that they are arrested and that justice is served. If not, I will be honest with you guys, we're setting ourselves up for a religious crisis in Nigeria and it will not be pretty. You guys don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So last week, I decided to visit the Nigerian embassy here in New York because I heard that it's been more than a month since the air conditioner broke down. Hey, father! Boy, I was so ashamed of myself when I got there. Okay, so the embassy doesn't have windows and there's no cross ventilation in the 21-story building. It's a glass building and it's designed to only rely on air conditioner for air. I saw people standing outside waiting for their passport. I was like, this is not right. They said it was too hot for them to stay inside. One woman showed me her baby, a new baby. His arm was covered with rashes. She said, my dear, there was no rashes on this baby when we left this morning. I said, hey, whoa. Everyone coming out of the embassy that day, they were all sweating. Meanwhile, it was very, very hot that day. It was 93 degrees here, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 32 degrees centigrade. So these people were hot inside and then they were hot outside again. So I went in and as soon as I stepped inside the elevator, I'm telling you, I wanted to run back. In fact, this one, he chickened out. Shut up. You think I won't tell them? He chickened. The boy ran back outside. I was the only one that went inside the embassy. I beg, put up the photo of the 8th floor. Hey, my people, this is the 8th floor, by the way, where people were supposed to wait for their passport to be processed I'm telling you, it was empty. It was empty. They had one standing fan like this, very old. Even if you dash call it over, he would not take it from you. The thing did not help at all. It was blowing heat. First of all, when you enter the Nigerian embassy, let me just say that yes, it looks good on the outside, but when you get inside, it's like you are back to Nigeria, as if you are in one of those Nigerian ministries. You know those offices where they don't send, where the elevator has not worked in years and stuff. That was how it looked. I thought I just transported myself back to Nigeria that day without flying. In fact, if you want to go to Nigeria without flying, just come to the Nigerian embassy in New York. You will be in Nigeria. I went to the 6th floor. There was no air conditioner. The 4th floor, the 2nd floor, there was no air conditioner. And then when I got to the waiting room on the 1st floor, I saw 2 families gathered in front of a standing air conditioner. I said, finally, Father, thank you. There's one air conditioner in this building. I was so happy because I needed air. I invited myself in. I needed some fresh air. They said, my sister, you know that this thing has not worked all day. It recently started working. That is why everybody is outside. I said, hey! And then I noticed one old television in the waiting room. I said, seriously, what is this? Who is still using this kind of television? Even call it over, if you dash him, it will not collect. Although I should say that they had a flat screen TV on the 8th floor. This is really a shame because this is the main representation of Nigeria here in New York. By the way, I heard that one of the reasons why they are yet to fix their air conditioner is because the people that were there before, they mismanaged money. They've asked for money to fix the air conditioner several times. They've asked for money to buy new air conditioners and they didn't spend money on air conditioners. So now the government in Nigeria is saying that, well, record shows that you've asked for money to fix air conditioner. What is going on? Now, the most heartbreaking thing for me was finding out that some of their workers had not been paid. I was like, hey! Apparently, some of them are owed 4 months salary, others are owed like 2 months salary. I was like, hey, this is America. No, seriously, you guys don't understand. In America, we pay bills every single month. We need to pay phone bill, car payment, mortgage or rent, and they have children to feed. They have to pay their children's school fees. So if you don't get paid in a month, it's not going to be funny. Most people don't have family members that they can run to here in America. It's not like in Nigeria where you pay your house rent once in a year. No. By the way, everybody that I met that day, they started telling me how the people that attended to them were so rude. There was one couple that said that they begged because their baby's food had finished, that the baby was hot. They drove 5 hours. They didn't want to have to come back to do this again. Yet the embassy said, no, just come back in 2 days time. I met another man that flew in from Minnesota. He said that they told him to come back in 2 days time as well. See, the thing is, if you tell people in advance that this thing will take 3 days, so at least they would be able to plan accordingly. But they don't. People cannot just get there and then you tell them come back in 2 days. They are not all from New York. Although, to be fair, some people were able to get their passports the same day. So it's not in all cases. But for those that didn't get their passport that day, it totally destroyed their plans for the week. Having said that, it's not all their staff that are rude. Majority of them are not rude. But those that were attending to people that needed to renew their passports that day, some of them were rude. We know you've not been paid your salaries and we know there's no air conditioner, but it's not the fault of the customers. So why taking it on the customers? Seriously, they need to change the orientation. When people call the Nigerian embassy, pick up the phone. Make customers feel welcome. It is their right to come and renew their passport. And they paid for the service. Why will people pay for something and you'll be insulting them on top of it? And it's not just that. There's the money, about $25, that these people are collecting at the embassy that there's no receipt for. What is that money meant for? Now, I should say that I tried to get an official of the embassy to talk to me for 2 days. The man kept telling me to call back, okay? After the second day, he told me that he would need permission from Abuja before he could talk to media. And I was thinking, hey, Oga, you could have said this yesterday, so you understand. So he had no comment. So I can't tell you their side. But I'm hoping that the Nigerian government will do something about this. This is a national disgrace. You need to pay these people that are working here, just like you need to pay people that are in Nigeria. You really need to make this a priority as well, because when people cannot pay their bills in America, they can send them packing if they can't pay their rent. They will cut off their phone if they can't pay for phone bill. They can take their cars back from them if they can't make car payments. They can cut off their electricity if they can't pay for electricity. So it's bad. By the time I left, I was drenched as well. I felt sick when I got home. I can't imagine working under that kind of condition. The ridiculous thing is that while I'm working on this story, hoping that they would pay their salary and fix their air conditioner, can you guys believe that the next day that I went back, the security guard told me that there's a specific instruction from above that I should not be let into the building. Can you imagine? See, that's the culture. We'll be suffering, but we don't want people to know that we're suffering. We don't want the world to know that we're suffering. That's why we are where we are today. That's why the embassy is where it is today, because they don't want people to know what is happening in there. It's a really big shame. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Zimbabwe, it's no longer business as usual since the protest began.
Tell Mugabe that he must step down. We suffered enough.
Last week, women took to the streets with their pots and pans, beating the pots to symbolize shortage of food and hardship under Mugabe. Thank you. Kudos to these women. I really admire their bravery, considering the fact that not long ago, police were harassing protesters. And it's not just the women. Street vendors also protested. Keep in mind that many of them are actually school graduates. They just couldn't find a job. I was so sad when policemen came out in huge numbers, shooting tear gas at these people, harassing them. It was bad. You would think that it's a war. Kept saying that they are not criminals, but policemen did not listen. So while the anti-Mugabe protests were happening left and right, guess what? Last Wednesday, thousands of people came out in support of Mugabe. Apparently, Zanu PF youth, they decided to protest. I was so confused. I was like, do these people want a change in Zimbabwe or not? Like, no, this Zanu PF youth, I don't know what they want. Of course, policemen did not shoot tear gas at them. They did not harass them. In fact, I heard that some of them may be getting lands from Mugabe very soon. Just another point for us to know that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Meanwhile, remember that pastor that started the whole protest? A true man of God. God bless you, my brother. Mugabe now said that the man is being sponsored by the West. You see, whenever Mugabe doesn't like anybody, the person is automatically being sponsored by the West. Meanwhile, this pastor did not back down. He has continued to speak out against how Zimbabweans are being treated.
The biggest miracle was not my release. The biggest miracle were the people of Zimbabwe. For a few hours in our entire history, I saw people stand up to injustice and tell them you will never do this to us again.
Kai, we need pastors like this in Nigeria. Just imagine if those big pastors in Nigeria would take a stand with the people. This is even the time people are suffering. Do you know that Nigeria would have changed a long time ago? You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of pastors that are changing lives, not just spiritually, but physically. Ladies and gentlemen, have you guys heard about Omega Power Ministries, OPM Free Schools in Nigeria? It's owned by Apostle Chibuzo Chinyere. Now, this school is located in Rivers State. And I'm telling you, this man is changing lives.
Free books, all the children, free books. The uniform they wear, 4 different uniforms free. Sandals, free. School bags, free. They will arrange for them to go to Paris for free excursion. God is happy.
That's a free private school, and they're feeding the children.
Every pupil of the OPM Free Nursery and Primary School is entitled to at least 1 quality meal per day.
All the pupils will eat free food, free of charge, free lunch. That is the job of a pastor.
He said one thing though that is so true.
A pastor will collect the offerings from the church. Then you build a school, high standard like this. Then you start collecting school fees. There are members in that church that cannot be able to pay their school fees. But it is their offering. You see, building that school is so much wickedness.
Preach, my brother, preach. I'm not saying that everyone should make their school free, but at least make them affordable. When church members contribute to the building of a school and they cannot send their children there, you know that there's something wrong. Especially when you say that this is in the name of the gospel. By the way, when missionaries brought the gospel to Nigeria, you know they established schools and they made it affordable for our forefathers. But again, you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to South Sudan, I don't even know where to start. Please put up their photos, those shameless men. This is the president and the vice president of the youngest country in the world, South Sudan. For about 2 years now, the country has been at war simply because these two people don't know how to share power. They don't know how to get along. First of all, as soon as they got their independence, by the way, several countries donated money to help South Sudan, to help them get started, only for the South Sudanese officials to steal billions of dollars. Money donated to help your country, they stole billions of dollars. And these mumu people, they were investing the money in Uganda and Kenya, not even in their own country. Now, these two don't know how to share power. And because they are from different tribes, the soldiers that are from the president's tribe are fighting the soldiers that are from the vice president's tribe. In case you don't understand, that is like Hausa soldiers fighting Yoruba soldiers in Nigeria. Guess what? More than 50,000 people have been killed, a lot of them civilians, and close to 1 million people have been displaced. All countries are now evacuating their people out of South Sudan. Uganda just evacuated 21,000 of their people. people. So has Rwanda, as well as Kenya and Somalia. The US already evacuated their staff from the embassy. Can you believe that Nigeria is still saying that it's not yet time to evacuate their own citizens? They said they are still monitoring the situation. There is relative peace in South Sudan. I was like, what? Even South Sudanese are fleeing the country. Wicked people, because their children are not there. I don't know what they are monitoring, as if they will come and notify them before they kill Nigerians. Journalists are now being targeted for saying the truth that unless these two men step down, that there won't be peace in South Sudan. They are even closing down media houses that speak up against the government. You know what pains me the most? People all over the world, myself included, we were all so hopeful when South Sudan got its independence from Omar al-Bashir, the president of Sudan, the man that killed so many of them in an act of genocide. But now they are the ones killing themselves. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? The fear now is that these two may no longer be the ones in control. Apparently, there's a military general, Paul Malong. They call him King Paul. The man has about 87 wives. Between 50 and 87 is what I've heard. He's the head of the Sudan People's Liberation Army, and he's also a former governor. I heard that even the president is afraid of this man. The fear now is that the man may take over. It's very clear now that it's not enough for you to say you want your own country, you want independence, you want to secede. These leaders had no plan and no vision. They had no vision. They basically continued with the system that they grew up under. They're just as power hungry, with no regards as to whether their new country burns down or not. But I'll keep you guys updated. You guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So before I leave today, I like to read some of your emails, and the first one is from someone that asked to remain anonymous. He said, "Hi Adeola, there's a situation in Olodi, Apapa, Lagos. Water Corporation has not provided water to private homes in a year." Wow! Yet they bring water bills. I spend 2,500 naira on water every 4 days. Please help us. Whoa, these people don't have water yet they are bringing them water bills. Nigeria. Also, the Lagos Waste Management Authority is harassing my house. They keep bringing bills and we have never used their service. How can I deal with them? My street name is Prince Tajudin. I am so sorry to hear this. This is just ridiculous. Bringing you bills for services that you did not enjoy. I don't know how you can deal with them. I think getting the story out maybe would help. Hopefully somebody is watching that could help your neighborhood, and please let me know how it goes. The next email is from Abdulahmed Babalola. He says, "Hi Adeola, this is just to let you know that I always enjoy your shows. May Allah's guidance and protection be over you and your family. One love." Oh, thank you so much, my brother. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying the show, and thank you for writing. And the next email is from Oladele Martins, and he says, "Hi Adeola, I was so fascinated and really moved by your episode 206 where you talked about the Great Depression in the US and what happened to rescue that situation and sustain it. Please, we really need someone to sell this advice to the present government. Thank you and God bless." Yes, oh my brother, thank you so much for writing. I'm also hoping that somebody can send it to Mr. President or the Vice President or whoever. Please, if there's anybody that can pass the message across, that's what the brother is suggesting. Thank you so much, Mr. Ladley Martins, for writing. And the next email is from John from Sweden, and he says, "Hi Adeola, greetings from Sweden. I appreciate what you're doing, but can you please address the youth orientation and how to organize a rally from the so-called African power that are forcing themselves on us?" Thank you so much, my brother. You're absolutely right. One of the main reasons why I do this show is to change people's orientation, people's mentality, the whole idea of not questioning those in power, to tell people anybody and everybody should be able to make our leaders accountable because they are supposed to represent us. So they should be able to do what they are elected or selected or appointed to do. So hopefully watching this show can change people's orientation, but I'll keep talking about it. Thank you so much for writing. And the next email is from David Fadari, and he says, "Hi Adeola, this is a senator earning so much money and he's sleeping on duty," and he sent a picture of the senator. Okay, this is sad. This is sad for real though. Nigerian officials need to wake up and smell the coffee. It is a new day. These people are getting paid millions. If you can't do the job, just tell us you cannot do the job. And then he attached another picture, and he said that this is the picture of a Nigerian ambassador sleeping at the UN in 1960. Can you imagine? This is terrible. This is such a shame. And the last email is from Tola Bello, and he says, "Hi Adeola, this is my wife." He sent a picture of her. Her name is Susan. She's 37 and a mother of 3 children, and she graduated last week with 2 master's degrees in international communication from Leeds Beckett University, Leeds and Hens University in the Netherlands. Our women are doing us proud. proud. Oh, I'm so happy for you, my brother, and congratulations to your wife. Can you imagine earning 2 master's degrees while taking care of 3 kids? Huge kudos to this lady. We're so proud of you. Thank you so much for making us proud, even in the Netherlands, and I'm very sure that your husband is so proud of you. You probably didn't know that he sent me this email, but congratulations to your family. We're so happy for you guys. Alright guys, that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitroll@gmail.com.
Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes, and I always got hand-me-downs. Now she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.